it's Ryan. Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm just making a short video. I imagine it'll be short. I just wanted to share with you one of my favorites and a lot of people's favorites for shooting 35mm film. This is the Pentax K1000. It is recommended by, and has been for years, recommended by film school and photography class teachers for several good reasons. And most of those reasons are the reason I love this camera as well. It's a simple camera. There are basically three functions to this camera, the Pentax K1000. You've got your shutter speed on the top. The shutter speed goes from 1 to 1,000. That is it. And then if you lift and turn, you've got your ISO setting. And really the only other setting is your aperture on the lens, which goes from a 2.82 to an f22 on the standard 55mm lens that came with a lot of these cameras and came with this one. I picked this one up used. They're usually around 50 bucks, maybe 100 bucks, maybe more. I did find this one for $50. The reason I love it, the reason people love it, is because of its simplicity, and the simplicity works in favor of this camera. The viewfinder is very bright. I believe technically it's Fresnel, bright Fresnel viewfinder, but don't quote me on that. It's crystal clear. There's nothing in your viewfinder except for your light meter. And with your light meter, you can tell if you're overexposed or underexposed, and that's it. There are none of the bells and whistles that you're familiar with on your DSLRs, your digital cameras, your mirrorless. It is straightforward, and it's a great way to focus just on your photography and the principles and techniques involved in using your aperture, your ISO, and your shutter speed. The only other real functions on this camera, there is a self-resetting frame counter, which resets when you put new film in it. I believe it goes up to 34. I've only used it up to 24. I just went out and bought some Fujifilm. I think it was 400 speed to put in it, and it worked great. I really wanted to test the camera out. I wasn't sure of its condition. I did know that it needed a new battery for the light meter. The battery that goes in the bottom of the camera here, which you can unscrew with just a coin or something, is just an A76. It's a tiny little battery. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it on Amazon. On Amazon, you can get 6 of them for like $5. So when I got the film processed, I just sent it out at Walmart. Walmart still does, a lot of places still do it. They used to do it in an hour when everyone shot on film, but now you have to send it away. It usually takes about a week. But I got the pictures back, and I was pleased with a lot of these pictures. A nice picture of my son. It's a little soft as I'm manually focusing and still getting used to the micro prism center spot. There's a center spot when focusing, which you can really dial in your focus, but it's still, there's no focus peaking, there's no autofocus, so you have to be careful. I missed a few shots. You're gonna miss a few shots. You're gonna nail a few shots. I got some stuff that looks real good, kind of like street photography. I turned the shutter speed up real high and captured a picture of leaves being thrown. I got some real nice close-ups. This is a close-up of river on a swing set at the park. The background blurred out real nice with a real nice bokeh. Now the film's going to affect, you know, a basic look. I really do like the Fujifilm, but the camera overall is just a solid camera. There's even a few marks on my lens. It's not a perfect lens. It's old. I could probably replace it for about 20 bucks, 25 bucks for a nice lens. These are not expensive lenses. In fact, I'm not even using a UV filter. I was going to put one on there to protect the lens, but it's such a nice lens, I didn't want to affect the image in any way, and it's super replaceable at 25 bucks. This here is the film I used. It's the Fujicolor Superia Extra 400, 24 frames. You can get this super cheap on Amazon. You can get it at Walmart. And all you do is just pop this open up your camera, throw it in, drag this over to the gears, stick it in there, start to wind it a little bit. Once you get it in there, you're going to want to just wind your film in, close it up, and you're good to go. Your counter right here will reset. That's basically all there is to it. I'm not going to get into all the tiny little details, but that's basically everything about this camera. This one also came with the Focal M200. It's a manual flash. You can throw it on the X-Sync hot shoe that's on the top of the Pentax, and it runs on 4 AA's, and it's just completely manual.
It's even got all your calculations here on the back. You just flip that to on.
I generally don't shoot with a flash, but the camera came with a simple manual flash, so I'm going to hold on to that. There's not much else to this camera, the Pentax K1000. I just wanted to recommend it to you. I've had a blast using it. I enjoy the way the pictures look, and I enjoy using it. It really just lets you focus on your camera and getting the proper settings, and I guarantee it'll help your digital photography and just make you more comfortable. You have to choose the shot. You're not going to overshoot. You're not going to shoot something and then crop it down. You got to focus on the shot, and I think it's great for your photography. So if you're like me and you're getting back into 35mm film photography, or if you've never done it and you just want to give it a try, I highly recommend it, and I highly recommend the Pentax K1000. In future videos, I'll show you a few other cameras for shooting on film, different types of cameras. But for now, just a quick video about the K1000 by Pentax. Definitely check it out. It was in production for years, from the 70s through the 90s. I could not recommend it enough if you want to get your hands on a simple and satisfying 35mm camera. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. I'm Ryan.